Peace, blessings, wholeness, family. It is October 8th, 6 p.m., 2025, and the sun is setting. So we got this first bed of garlic planted about a month ago, shortly after it became autumn, so around September 20th. And there is a few coming up, but that's okay because they'll die back and grow completely fine. It also tells me that my seed is viable. This bed on the end has also been planted, and this bed of garlic will be donated to Soil Solidarity, the organization that allows me to be here. So that's pretty cool. And moving forward, all of the other beds have not been planted with garlic. So coming up Friday and Saturday, the 10th and the 11th, we will get the rest of these beds planted with garlic. We are expecting our first hard frost Saturday night, which will lead, you can see we had a light frost on Monday at about 39, and that burnt these sweet potato slips to a crisp, and a little bit of damage on some other things, but pretty minimal overall. So that first hard frost is going to send these black walnut trees that I grew from locally harvested seed in between my garlic this season. So harvested it last year, planted it with the garlic, and now here we are a year later, almost to the date, with about 29 black walnut trees. So after our first hard frost over the weekend, that's going to send these plants into dormancy at that point, which I want to offer up a bare root tree sale. So we're going to need to dig up all of these black walnuts to plant the garlic, and I don't really have the capacity to hold them over winter, so it'd be lovely to find homes for a good amount of these black walnut trees. So stay tuned for more information on that. I mean, some of these are really, really healthy. That's a 1-year tree right there, growing under the canopy of a pumpkin. So there's a few more in here actually getting tangled, and the rest are scattered in this bed and under the tunnel. When I had counted, there was 29 of them. So we will have more updates about the bare root plant sale in about a week or so. And tomorrow, Thursday, we will harvest our 6th cut from this low tunnel. 6 cuts we have had off these greens over the last 6 weeks, and they were direct sowed on August 2nd. And I've been leaving the cover up ever since September 6th. So pretty cool that I'm getting it dialed. And after we get this last harvest of greens, we will transition this bed over to garlic. Maybe we'll dig up some of the mustard greens and bring them back to the apartment stead. It would be cool to just leave them here so they could overwinter, and they're gonna start doing even better now that the colder temps are here. So the fact that 7 to 8 cuts you could get before it really gets cold if you direct sow your green seeds with row cover set up in about the first week of August. Reno, Nevada, they switched all the zones up think we're like zone 6, zone 7. We only get down to 0 to -10 every year. Or, well, not every year, on some years, but we didn't even get down to 0 last year. We made our last big harvest of summer squash last night. It's amazing to see how the frost sets in the valley. This summer squash, for some reason, completely fried. And all of these ones still have a whole bunch of life. There's actually watermelon radishes intermixed underneath the summer squash, so we've been harvesting these as well, and we'll probably get a few more right now to take home. And you can see there is still a few squash that want to keep going even after that first frost in 39, but it's time to start transitioning. So once we get all of the garlic planted over the weekend, in these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beds, then we will get a nice thick layer of leaves on top of everything. Yes, even on top of the layer of wood chips. And then we will keep up with winter watering. I'm about to even water right now because things are continuously dry out here in this desert-esque climate, and I choose to not use irrigation because it puts you more in tune with the land and observations, when it can be helpful and beneficial to have things automated and set up that way, but that's just not my style, and I'm learning more about that automation way. And maybe it is something I will transition to in the future, but for right now, we're sticking with hand watering, and it's been working well for me. So learned a lot this year, and there's still so much more to learn and so many ways to adapt. But I do believe it was a very successful first season in a completely different growing climate. So lots of successes, lots of failures, and like I said, still many things to learn. So peace, blessings, and wholeness. Stay tuned for more updates after we get all the garlic planted, and also stay tuned for that black walnut bare root tree sale, trying to find homes for all of these locally adapted trees. So peace, blessings, and wholeness. Farmer John. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.